A good number of students are still confused about the meaning of separation of powers and sharing of powers and the difference between the two of them. In this video, we are going to make it a little clearer to all students who are so confused. First of all, separation of powers refers to the creation of various organs of government, like 3 levels of government: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, that perform the functions, 3 functions of government: to make the law, as in the case of the legislature; to execute the law, as in the case of the executive; and to interpret the law and settle disputes, as in the case of the judiciary. These are the 3 organs of government, or which we can also call the 3 arms of government that operates in terms of separation of powers. The 3 of them are 3 different institutions that work together in the area of different functions they perform: lawmaking, law execution, and law interpretation, or what we call law adjudication and settlement of disputes. That's the separation of powers. When we come to the sharing of powers, we are basically referring to what happens in a federal system of government, in which there are 3 levels of government: the central government, also called the federal government; the state government; and the local government council. Now, when we are talking about this, we have so many powers of government, so many of them. Everything that government can do, all of them are shared among the 3 levels of government, the 3 tiers of government. First of all, the central government has assigned to itself, the Constitution assigns the central government what we refer to as the exclusive powers. That's for the central government. Powers that are exclusively reserved for the central government to carry out. Issues that include foreign policy, embassies, currency, that is the money, the country's money, central banking, immigration, armed forces, police, and many others are all exclusive. They are all exclusively reserved for the central government, so that the state government and the local government cannot make laws in these areas that are particularly reserved for the central government. If they do so, the Supreme Court will declare their action as unconstitutional, null and void, of no effect. They have acted ultra vires, that is, they've acted above their powers. Okay, now the next is the concurrent powers. Concurrent powers are powers that are shared between the central government and the state governments. The central government and state government share concurrent powers. In that case, the 2 of them can make laws in the areas that are within concurrent powers. For example, issues like agriculture, education, industry, commerce, manufacturing, transportation, and many other powers that apply to the concurrent list. In this case now, the central government can make laws in the concurrent list. The state government can also make laws in the concurrent list. But the issue is that where the central government makes a law and the state government makes a law that disagrees with that of the central government, usually in most constitutions, in most federal constitutions, especially in Nigeria, the law made by the central government will prevail over that of the state government. That is where the central government happens to be a little stronger than the state governments in practice. The third list of powers of government is that which we refer to as the residual powers. Residual powers are exercised by the local government council along with the state government. Now, these are powers that are found neither in the exclusive list nor in the concurrent list. that is why they are called residual powers. You don't see them here in the exclusive list, and they are not in the concurrent list as well. So these are powers that the state government shares with the local government. For example, chieftaincy affairs, governance, community governance, traditional rulership, marriage, issues that have to do with inheritance, environmental sanitation, cultural festivals, and such other issues that only have their scope within the grassroots, within the locality of a local government or states. These are residual matters that only the states and the local government councils can handle because they are matters of immediate importance around the localities. That is what we call the residual powers for the local governments and state governments. Now, looking at what we have described so far, we'll find out that in federal systems, there is sharing of powers in such a way that the central government has